Time of the week again. Time of the week again, folks. This is MLS. Get in here, join us. My name is Kev Egan, as always, buzzing to be alongside the fellas BWP, Bradley Wright-Phillips, and Sacha Kljestan. And I'm especially happy to be chatting with you guys today because I've been thinking a lot about a bromance right now within the league. That is beautiful to witness. We all love a little bit of romance. Maybe me a little bit more so than you fellas. But when it comes to the bromance on the pitch, fellas, I don't think we can look past Bouanga and Son, and everything they're doing right now is bringing a smile to my face, Bradley.
It's so good to see. Before Son come, you wondered how that was going to work. You know, they're both similar players. You think, how is this going to work out? Is one going to have to sacrifice? But no, what we've seen, Kev, is just enjoyment. And when you're young, you want to play the game. You want it to look like how they are making it look. It looks fun. They're scoring goals, linking up. It's beautiful. And then after games, they're hugging in the camera. They're doing each other's celebrations. What more can you ask for, man? It's amazing.
These two are sick, Kev, the way they play together, but it's the speed at which they play also. So I got a funny story because last year I went to watch LAFC play in the US Open Cup final. And the club took care of me and my wife. They put us down in one of those field side suites where you stand basically 2 yards,
Sacha
two yards from the side. Like me and my cow went. And you stand
Don't
like
call Jamie.
Yeah, you can't call Jamie
Don't do
a cow,
that.
bro. That's crazy.
We stand 2 yards from the sideline, and Bouanga operating down that left side. He's just going on these runs, and you know how powerful and how fast he is. And my wife says to me, "Oh my gosh, I never realized how fast the game was." And like how and I was like, I played this game for 17 years. I'm not like Bouanga, but I was in there in the mix, being like I wasn't fast like that.
You weren't playing like that, bro.
Bouanga makes it look different, and I was like,
does.
yeah, he does.
A little context on these guys right now. LAFC, in their last 5 games, they've scored 14 goals. These two have scored all 14 goals. They're doing it with a smile on their face. Bouanga's made it 3 straight seasons now with 20-plus goals, becoming the only player in MLS to do so, Bradley. You're someone who scored over 20 goals in multiple seasons yourself. How difficult is that to do in 3 straight seasons?
No, it's ridiculous. And I'll tell you why. After you score 20, all right, after you score 10 goals in a season, the target's on your back. Defenders want to stop you more. Teams game plan for you. You know, you might get double teamed, whatever. So every week it gets more difficult. So now we're adding seasons. If you 20 goals in 3 seasons straight is unbelievable work. I know I couldn't do it. It's really tough. You need players. But I think what sets him apart, he can score goals. He doesn't always need assists. He can pick up the ball from the halfway line, dribble past 2 or 3 players and bang it in the top corner. It's great work. He's on fire, man.
Kev, you're selling my boy BWP short here when you said, oh, you've done it in multiple seasons. Brad was the only guy until Bouanga to ever score 20 goals in more than 3 seasons, right? Okay, so come on, Kev.
Fair point. My bad, B-Dubs, my bad. This duo, though, are they the best in the league right now when we simply look at duos? Because I think recency bias may come into play here, given what they've done over the weekend. 3 straight games with hat-tricks. The league has never seen that before from one single club either. But when you look down the list of duos this year in the league, I mean, we could easily go with Messi and Suarez. We could absolutely go with Muriel and Ojeda. Hani Mukhtar and Suric having a decent year too. Dreyer and Chucky Lozano. Yeah. So go on then. I want your top 3 in order of the best duos in MLS this year. We'll start with you, Sash.
I mean, recency bias is gonna be in there for sure. But right now, I would take Son and Bouanga at number 1. I would take Messi with Suarez at number 2. And I'd got to put in Suric with Mukhtar at number 3. You know, just off the top of my head, those are the best ones. I think they've been the most successful. And you're leaving out some good ones in here, too. Evander plus Denke, you know, those guys are very good. Chucky and Anders Dreyer, they've been very good. But I think those are the top 3.
Top 3, but I can't put Son and Bouanga yet. I need more of a body of work.
Really?
But I'd say, they are going to be. Next season, that's a whole different conversation. I'd say
you're right.
Messi,
you're right. Like 15 goals between them in like 5 games.
It's crazy. I understand. It's crazy, but no. I'd say Messi, Alba. Oh. And I'm more of an eye test kind of guy. Messi, Alba, their link up is ridiculous. Suric and Hani, I got to put them in there. Who am I missing here? What was your third, Sash?
Ojeda and Muriel.
Ojeda, Muriel.
You've got Denke and Evander.
No, I go Ojeda, Muriel before those two.
I think Dreyer and Chucky are getting slated here by you two.
They are, but have they linked? Are they linking up?
Yes, they did at the weekend. Chucky to Dreyer. We've seen it all season long. They're in my top 3 for sure. You can't, and especially given that they're 2 wider guys that are somehow finding ways to connect. For me, they're absolutely in there.
I hear that. It's a fair argument. Calm down. It's a fair argument. We're spoiled with some great duos.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. What is it like, you two? Because you were that duo for so long in Major League Soccer. Sash with the assists, the only player to lead the league in assists in back-to-back seasons, along with BWP. Does that relationship go off the field as well?
Sash, you want to take this?
Yeah, listen, I think Brad and I had a great time on the field. It wasn't just me and Brad hanging out off the field. We had a great group of guys at the New York Red Bulls, a huge group of us that all hung out together. I mean, we probably spend more time together now than we did when we were playing, Brad, because we both had really young kids back then.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I mean, we're together every Saturday, Sunday in the studio watching MLS, watching Premier League games. But I don't think you can have a really good relationship on the field unless you actually understand each other off the field as well.
Facts. I'll definitely say we got closer after. You know, our squad was crazy. We had a bunch of players that all got along, and then we had little groups within that big squad. But yeah, for sure, you need some understanding. Sash was easy to play with. He was one of those players, if you told him, I'm going to make this run, just find me in this space, he could do that. He can execute. His passing was unbelievable.
So you two weren't best pals, no?
We had like 8 of us. Honestly, there was a group. I don't want to exclude anyone. We're live right now, so I don't want anyone to get
Come
angry.
on, dish the dirt, man.
There was like 8 of us that were really tight. 8 or 9 that were really tight in that squad. We were blessed to have.
He's
that
nervous
team.
now, Sash. The group's getting bigger.
No,
Maybe 9.
Yeah,
no.
Maybe 11 guys.
There were 9 of us. You know how I remember? We used to, one road trip, I don't know how this happened. We all went and bought these little Nintendo DS, Game Boy things. And we would take them on the road and we would play Mario Kart. But I remember there were 9 of us because only 8 could play at a time.
We had a relegation.
So relegation for one guy. So we would be on the plane, probably annoying everybody around us. Every time someone won a race, we were going crazy. You're relegated. He's out. You're in. That's how I remember there were 9 of us. That was just like this core group of guys. We used to all hang out. It was we had such a good squad.
Yeah, I get it. Good squad. But when I watched you two on the pitch, it was like this. It was instant. You'd swear you were going for coffee and dinner afterwards and hanging out everywhere you go. And again, as someone who's never played the game professionally, that's what I would think from afar, but it doesn't often have to be the case. How do you simply develop chemistry on the field and alone?
It's training. It's conversations. It's time. It's understanding, you know, the player. Like, I would have to start to understand Sacha's game. I'm not going to lie and say I knew everything about Sacha's game before he got there. But as soon as I knew that he was a player that can find pockets and then, you know, have the ability to feed a through pass in, that's going to be my best friend. I need that dude. So I'm going to work out his game and see how I could enhance that.
Same for me, Kev. But to be honest, I knew about Brad and I knew about Lloyd Sam before I got to the New York Red Bulls. I had been watching them. Even though I was playing in Europe, I was watching their games, and I had so much love for those two and what they did that when I got there, I knew Lloyd wanted the ball to his feet because he was going to dribble by people and get balls in the box. I told him the day I met him, I think you're one of the best wingers in MLS. And if I get you the ball, I know you're going to beat your guy either down the line to the right or he's got that chop back to his left. And then with Brad, I knew he didn't want the ball to his feet. I needed to play him into space because he made such good runs. And so it was just on the training ground, the amount of times and the amount of assists I got in my career where I received the ball looking this way from Dax probably, and I turned, and as soon as I turned, I already knew which way Brad was going to run, and it was control and pass, and he was gone. It was very easy to play with those guys.
He's such a football nerd, isn't he, Brad? He's such a football nerd. I mean, he's the guy who's shown up to the club and he's got pages of research on every single player. You just said you didn't know anything about Sacha before arriving to the club.
Brad would show up late to training with boogers in his eyes still, half asleep.
That's a lie. That's a lie, bro.
But when the game came, he was ready.
Everyone knows I don't like being late. That's a lie.
I was thinking the other day about you guys on the desk. Being the host, you try and dive a little bit deeper into stuff beyond just your answers and what you offer in studio. And I was thinking about what your greatest strengths might be as players on the pitch. For you, Brad, I think instinctual. Aside from your physical ability, your skill, your instinctual one-touch finishes, your ability to read something that happens in a millisecond was second to none for a long period in MLS. Is that a fair assessment? Instinctuality?
Yeah, that's one of my strengths. I didn't like to think too much about the game. Probably why I wasn't world class, you know. But I like to just be in the moment. I almost got myself into situations, so I had to react. So definitely Fair
Was
assessment.
it your instinct to like be late to meetings and just like go up late to training?
This is
You like
crazy.
to meetings, bud.
Don't listen to him. He's assassinating my character here. I don't know what happened before we got live, but I don't know. Don't listen to him if you're out there. He's a liar.
If you're gonna go for anyone's character, at least go for Dax while he's not here.
That's why he's not here.
And for you, Sacha, I would have said your IQ. I would have said that exactly. The fact that you studied players before arriving in to play with them, you knew day one what foot Lloyd wants the ball to, is pretty remarkable. And the other one I'd say, Dax, like, this is not a shot on Dax at all.
No,
but if you look at Dax and you go, this guy had a 19-year career. He's never going to be the quickest. He's not going to be the strongest. But his competitive nature, I've never seen anything like it. We play pickleball with Dax. The guy's a competitive animal. If I cut him off on MLS 360, he's in the middle of one of his points. And I'm like, sorry, Dax, love you. We got to go. I got it in. And he gets furious. I'm like, he's competitive in every single way. Even a silly argument. You know, producer Anders is waxing lyrical about Paul Rothrock at Seattle. And Dax will disagree. And next thing, they're going to war.
I was in the green room one segment. And he had an argument with me. I wasn't on the segment. And he was arguing with me. And he's like, yeah, I won that one. I'm in the green room. I'm not even there, bro, to argue with you.
My favorite is somebody will like give a compliment to Brad or I about our suit or what we're wearing on the weekend. And he'll be like, my suit's pretty good too.
We love you, Dax.
He's the best.
We love you. And Dax was a key cog for you guys. With the New York Red Bulls when you briefly did play together. I always want to point out, by the way, that there are like 11 different clubs represented when you guys sit at the same desk. Is it 11? Dax was 6. You were 3. Brad, Sash, you were 3 also, right? Or 4?
I had
4 in MLS.
4 MLS teams. I think it's 13 teams then total if you include your.
You're making us sound like journeyman. Next subject, man. What you doing, bro?
Sorry. But the Hudson River Derby is something you all played in together and you dominated when you were there against New York City. We've got a massive Hudson River Derby coming up this weekend because the Red Bulls right now find themselves in a perilous situation below the playoff line. They've made the playoffs each of the last 15 seasons in MLS, which is a record. And now they're going up, Brad, against a New York City team that are playing some scintillating ball. 6 wins in their last 7 games. Yeah, they've got a massive one tomorrow night at home against Miami that could very well derail their momentum. But I think this is the biggest. Put it this way, I think we're going to see the best Hudson River Derby on the field that we've seen in quite some time. I get it, they played in the playoffs last year. That felt like a really cagey game that I don't know. It wasn't the most enjoyable encounter. I think we're in for a big time clash this weekend.
No, Kev, you're right. It's as big. Last year, playoff implications. It's going to be a massive game. You know, they'd never met in the playoffs before. But now when you think about Red Bull having to win games to make the playoff for 16 years consecutively, but then New York City, they also want to be 4th. There's a chance they can be 4th. So, yeah, I hope it's an exciting game. There's one thing when you watch derbies, you don't want it to just be about the points. There needs to be anger. There needs to be intensity. Yeah. I think once you bring that, the game will deliver what it delivers normally. But, yeah, it's a really big occasion. I can't wait for that game, Sash.
I think it's going to be the best regular season matchup of this derby that we've seen in many years.
Big time.
Red Bulls won in the playoffs last year, obviously over at Citi Field. That was a big one. So there's going to be some residual anger left from that one from the New York City side. They're going to have to come into Red Bull Arena, I think, and do their thing. It's going to be this one's going to be hot. Red Bulls are fighting for their lives, which really for the first time in a long time to try to get back in the playoffs. You know,
and Sash, you know what it's like whenever we did lose to New York City. They're the only team I could think about until we got to play them again. I'm going in that play. We have to win the next one. It's like being punched in the mouth. You got to punch them back. So New York City are going to come with all that energy.
Who was the face on the dartboard in your dressing room? Who was the one New York City guy you went up against where you're like, I can't stand that fella?
Who was a person that used to annoy me?
Sash, you know exactly who it is. Don't start delaying now. Don't start going all PC.
This is
MLS. Who is it?
Who is it?
You asking me?
Do you know who used to annoy me? And he didn't, Mixed Discaroo. He just used to annoy me because I don't know what it was. They were putting him up as the poster boy and whatever. And I just didn't see it from him. No disrespect, Mix, wherever you are, but
no disrespect.
It didn't really have an effect in the derby. But you know who used to annoy me? The centre back, Callens, later on. Always talking. But that's what derbies are about. He's just always talking.
You know, I got to say it's Mixed Discaroo also. I was trying to be PC. And I'll tell you why. There's a couple of reasons. And it's not Mix's fault.
Yeah, okay.
But Mix was being selected for the U.S. men's national team over me for years. And I always thought that I was the better player. And so
you were.
That's one. The second, this is a behind the scenes, never heard before, but I'm going to tell it.
Exclusive.
When New York City was coming into Major League Soccer, listen, I love New York. It's my favorite city in the world. I was playing at Anderlecht. New York City was coming in. They were backed by Man City. It was this big thing. I called my agent. I said, call New York City. I should go play there. I should be one of their first players.
Wow. Look at P's face.
New York City said,
What?
no, thanks. We're going to sign Mix Diskerud instead. And
He said no.
And it just so happened, whatever.
We got this other fellow with long hair. He could potentially grow a mustache.
Months later, I went to New York Red Bulls, and when we kicked their ass every single time, I loved every minute of it.
Best decision, bro.
Have you ever told Mix this on national team camps or anything like that?
No.
Hey, I would have had less goals, man, in my career if Sacha went over there.
Hey, do you remember the very first derby? Like, I remember the whole first season. You and I connected on plenty of goals. My favorite, obviously, the game winner in the very first one where I slid it across the box to you.
Gave me a nice little tap in. Yeah.
And then the second game where I crossed it with my left from like.
And I done a left foot. Yeah.
You volleyed it in. Oh
yeah.
my.
Good times.
Memories, bro.
Why did this not last longer than 20? What was it? 2016 was your last season, Sacha, right? You went to Orlando in 2017?
2017. We played 3 years together.
It should have been longer, no?
Yeah, Red Bull, man, when you start losing your hair and you're getting a little older, you got to get out, man.
Break up a winning duo. And then Dax left in what, 2017? The beginning of 17?
Dax left the beginning of 2017.
Yeah, Jesse kicked Dax out the door early, man.
Yeah.
They were too angry.
Hey, we saw McSorley over the weekend scoring his first goal, right? Great hair, by the way. And then he backs it up, Brendan McSorley, with the second goal straight after. What a way to do it. Do you guys remember your first?
What, game winners like that late?
No, your first goal.
Your first goal
in the league, Sash. When was yours?
I never forget my first. Listen, I went my entire rookie year without scoring a goal. I was snake bitten. I hit the post like 5 times. I could not score. I was thinking, am I ever going to get a professional goal?
Can you imagine how much that would have wrecked his head, Brad?
I was going crazy. I was like, I finished second in the rookie of the year because I didn't score any goals. Like I would have won the rookie of the year probably. Anyway, first game of the second season, I score a banger against Toronto, and I was like, finally, dude, finally. It was a great goal. I'll never forget it.
Mine in MLS was like boring. I couldn't get into the team for a while. Did I come off? I think I might have came off the bench, just a little tap, a little tap in against Houston Dynamo. But it was good. It was a breath of fresh air. Career? Oh, what a day, man. Career, I was at Man City away to Middlesbrough. We were losing, I think, 3-1. And Kevin Keegan's there, just put on. He's thrown me on. We need a goal, so we had a few strikers.
Was Juninho playing then?
No, I'm not that old, bro. It wasn't that time. It was like Mark Viduka, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Ravanelli wasn't there, no?
You know who was playing? Gareth Southgate. He was playing, so I'm kind of old. Yeah, and he's thrown me on, and it's like a goal mouth scramble. I've swiveled and turned and got contact in the box, got a nice little finish. And I remember running off, you don't want to celebrate. We're losing 3-2, so it's get the ball, kind of run back to the halfway line. And I remember running back, and I seen Sean, my brother, and he would never admit it, but he had tears in his eyes, man.
No.
He was going to cry, man. He was going to cry. But what a moment. That was amazing.
What, do you remember the phone calls afterwards? That's huge, man. Especially, I would say there was a lot of pressure on you and Sean.
Yeah.
Who your dad is breaking through.
Yeah, that's what made it good, because it was my debut. You get it out of the way. If I don't score for like 9 or 10 games, then this guy's a fraud. Is he even related to these guys? So, yeah, it was like a weight off my shoulders to get that goal.
That was on your debut?
Yeah, Premier League debut. Yeah.
Wow.
Lucky.
I think I remember that, to be honest. I think I remember, this sounds crazy, but I remember being in my local Gaelic football club, and people were like, oh, is that Ian Wright's son? Yeah, is that Sean Wright-Phillips' brother? And when you broke through originally, you were such a skinny little whippet, weren't you? You were tiny.
Yeah.
Like, literally, have a steak, Brad. Tell us, quick question for you, because we've had so many late goals in the last few weeks. Evander's match winner we talked about last week. We saw Austin score in the 96th minute for a winner.
Yeah.
If you guys had to give the ball, right, let's say it's like a basketball play and the seconds are counting down in our beautiful game in MLS, who are you giving the ball to and why? Sash.
Yeah, thank you for asking Sash first.
Listen, I got 2 answers for this. I know this is cheating, but you'll understand why. One of them is Denny Bouanga, because at the end of the game, he is still able to continually make those runs, to sprint at tired back lines, to crush them. He's amazing. The other one is a guy who's been injured all year, but when he comes back next season, this is who I want the ball to be at his foot at the end of a game. It's Ricky Pooch. The way he can break down a backline. Oh, the way he can break down a backline either through a pass or through a dribble, and then obviously has the ability to finish goals as well. I think he's a late game hero for the LA Galaxy.
Great show. Great show.
There is. I could have argued with the Bouanga, but what I'm seeing of late, there's a lot more composure about his finishing right now. So if the ball drops him right now, he's on fire, I'd say. Yeah, but I'm going to say Muller. Thomas Muller. I think if the ball drops to him, or if he has to take or make a play, I don't see him messing that up. He does everything, at a high level, like 9 out of 10 all the time. So I think I'm thinking of the way I scored. If the ball goes into the box, bounces, and you need someone to just get the technique right, get it on target and find the back of the net, I think it's Thomas Muller.
You just want to see him do that 1970s goal celebration.
I think Carlos Hill for me. Hill or Evander.
I
need a 10 that if there's a low block, everybody's defending, they find some. And this is obviously, this I should have stated this at the beginning. This is if we take out Lionel Messi. Yeah. If we need a goal last minute of the game, we're giving it to Messi. All of us are giving it to Messi.
Yeah, but we knew that.
Is giving it to Messi. But without Lionel Messi, I think I'm probably... The other underrated player in this is Luis Suarez. A much better creator, much better at finding something and making something happen out of nothing. So I'm probably going Carlos Hill, Evander as the 10s. If I needed to give it to a striker, El Pistolero, Luis Suarez. But up against a defender...
Hey, Don Garber. Yeah, Kevin got his shout in for the Miami and Messi and Suarez. Okay.
Yeah. You good?
What's he talking about, bro?
Dude, him and his cow have been talking nonsense. I don't even want to ask you where you are right now, Sash. Sash, you're buddies with Giorgio Chiellini, our guest coming up here in mere minutes here on This Is MLS, the legendary defender who's won almost everything within the game. Tell us about his personality before the viewer gets a sense of Chiellini here on the show.
I mean, what a guy. What a guy. I think Brad and I met him for the first time at MLS Cup 2023, which was in Columbus. I mean, we've all been watching Chiellini for years. I actually played against him a couple times with the U.S. men's national team. Obviously, when he was on Italy, we met twice a long time ago. But the way he came up to me and Brad in Columbus to be like, Sasha, Brad, how are you guys? I watch your show all the time. You guys are fantastic. How's everything going? We were like, you know who we are, dude? Like,
you're a liar, bro.
He's so tuned in to MLS and everything. He knew everything about every team he played against, who all the best players were that he was going to match up against. Like, he's just, when you talk about student of the game, like he knew who he was playing against. He knew what their strengths, their weaknesses were. He knew everything that was going on. And then, we hung out a couple of times in LA, just to get lunch and stuff like that. And just a genuine dude, an awesome guy, phenomenal player. It's no joke what he's done in his post-playing career now. Obviously, part owner, LAFC, bit of an advisor there, working in management at Juventus, like legend.
Absolute legend. I was so excited to have this chat with you, Bradley, to sit down and have a little bit of a chin wag with Giorgio Chiellini. So take it away. Let's have a listen.
What an honor it is to have you with us, Giorgio. Thanks so much for taking the time. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Torino now. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Bradley, for having me. Yeah, it's always an honor. Yeah, and I love my time in LA, and I always love to talk about MLS and talk with you.
No, thank you for taking the time to sit with us and have this chat. We appreciate it, man.
Giorgio, do you get a chance to keep an eye on Major League Soccer at all from afar?
Yes, of course. I watch all of the AFC results and game. Unfortunately, not so much live because it's really in the middle of the night. Sometimes I wake up early when it's like late in the night in the West Coast, and it's early in the morning. And in Italy, that I found some moment to watch, especially the second half. That is almost at 6 a.m., 6:30. That's okay. But I always watch the results, the highlights. I'm in touch with my former colleagues, players, and coaches, and the staff, whatever in the organization there. And I always have a look at MLS results, what is going on. That is still on my favorites on the live score result on the MLS app for watching also 360 or the...
Yes, Giorgio.
That's I'm following you like many others all over the world.
No, we love that. A little bit of a shaky season for LAFC. Not shaky, but up and down. But you got to be excited about what you're seeing now from them and their chances later on in the postseason.
It's unbelievable for everyone in play. And yeah, obviously off the pitch, but much more obvious if you talk to us on the pitch that the hat-trick he scored yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever it is, it was amazing, and they start to find the right confidence and the right feelings with Bouanga, that this special duo could give us a lot of hope for the playoffs if we are able to find a balance with the midfield and the defense and the right shape. I think that they could be the duo, a monster duo for the league.
They're so exciting to watch, aren't they? The two of them together at full pace. I'd say from a defensive mindset perspective, they must be a nightmare to go up against.
Yes, and I always hated to play against Sonny because it was really hard to understand what he can do. He could go on the right and the left. He has space to go on depth, but he's also able to connect in between the lines and shoot from 25 meters. That is very hard to mark. What I have to say in Bouanga is not just the effect in the own goal, because he's scoring a lot, but also the quantity of field that he could cover, that going back and forth. And sometimes we needed to rest him a bit in order to use him just on the offense and ask him to do not come back too much in order to be ready for transition. But it was really, I didn't know him before his arrival in LA. I understood a bit his potential at the beginning when he joined the first 2-3 months, but I didn't expect so much, honestly. His ability on scoring at the beginning, we didn't see in training. We start to smell a bit after at the beginning of the second season. When we started the preseason, he started to score.
Were you part in any way of the recruiting process with Son?
No.
Okay, so I won't even go there.
The recruiting process, no, but I knew before. Before that I reached out with John and the ownership during the summer, and I knew that was the possibility at the beginning of the summer. I was in LA in June. I saw them during the Club World Cup, that I know that was going on, and what I said is, if you're able to do it, go.
If you know these things, Giorgio, you got to text us. You got to let me and Kevin and Sash know. I want to get ahead of these things, you know.
Sorry.
I wanted to quickly mention something about Danny Bouanga. I had an interview yesterday and just talking about the mindset and goal scorers in the league, you know, and what it takes to be as dangerous. But I think what people don't really give Bouanga credit for is his relentlessness. I think his fitness is a huge tool. And you being a defender, you know, that you were, I couldn't imagine playing against someone that could run that fast, you know, with that intensity, that pace and power for 95 minutes. It must be so difficult.
And also for him, it's better to play than to train, because in the end, he loves to play and he loves to push himself just on the game. He's young enough or fit enough in order to have this type of consistency on the performance, but he could go back and forth for the whole game. And sometimes when we have training and he's not pushing his body to really the 100%, he's losing a bit of shape. And then let him play a lot. I was shocked one time I went to Africa to play for the national team. He came back and in less than 48 hours, and he played again and he scored again. That is something, but he's doing, and I think it's really hard for a team in MLS to having a player like him and thinking to the future. We are very lucky to brought him at a normal price, very average price, and to use him in this year.
Yeah. Giorgio, we were chatting last week on the show, myself, Brad, and Sacha Kljestan, about personalities within our game and how Son is just that infectious, lovable personality. As were you, by the way. When you were here in Major League Soccer, I think you were the most loved player on the field, and you showed that personality off it as well. How much do you enjoy seeing players when they really showcase their personality just beyond the game like Son does?
I love it, and I really what I said about Sonny during the summer when I started about these rumors that he would have being the guy that could have changed the locker room, because as you have seen at the beginning of the season, started with really roller coaster, not able to have continuity and consistency on the results, especially on the road, and also with the CONCACAF Champions League, the Club World Cup, the team lost many points, and we lost also this type of happiness and joy that Sonny has brought back, not just for the fans, but also for the player inside the locker. You could feel now during every celebration, and I think most of these things has been brought from Sonny, and obviously his arrival. We have to say thank to the ownership again. Find another signing for LAFC, and a very big relationship with Steve Cherundolo. It's the last month for him, and we all hope that he could arrive to the end lifting a trophy.
Giorgio, speaking of big signings, I remember you and Gareth Bale came, two huge signings for the league and for LAFC. I played with Gareth Bale at Southampton. He was just 16. He was very immature, always joking around. Was he similar at LAFC, and do you have any stories about him?
I didn't know about him when I signed for LAFC, and when I started the conversation, didn't know anything. I've read on internet just a week after my announcement, and just a couple of weeks after I signed my contract in London, I said, "Wow, that's starting to be good." And after my arrival, Bouanga, and then Telio, and also we have changed the squad a bit during the window. During this January, February, the winter window, the team has completely changed, and I think what we had at that time was a type of unicorn, because the team was very good. We had depth that we really were the best team, but in the end we were very lucky to win, because if you remember, I said the craziest game. I've just watched Juventus Inter last week with comebacks for 3, and Juventus Borussia Dortmund is 4-4. That probably the 3 craziest game in my life. But honor to credit to Philly that did a very huge season that year. But we were a team that is very hard to see again in MLS. Just Miami now probably has much more quality on the first 11, but I think that we were much more balanced if you consider the depth on the bench and the two team that we were at that time. We had on the bench Garrett, we were on the bench Telio, that is a very good player that has played in La Liga in Italy and after LAFC in Saudi for a few years. And we were a very, very, very good team.
I agree.
Right. Giorgio, get off the fence here, all right? I really want you to hammer home your answer, because Bradley feels strongly on this and the guys on the desk disagree with him. You won the Supporters' Shield and you won MLS Cup with LAFC. If you could pick one, which one is it?
MLS Cup.
Oh, that's Bradley!
He's American already. He's American. They've changed you so quick.
I understood being there that the Supporters' Shield is just regular season and it's not enough. If you want to be the real winner, you have to win the MLS Cup. In order to don't have any doubt, I decided to win both.
Oh, yes. What a legend.
Wow,
he wins where he goes.
You're smart. You were better than me. I could only manage the Shield. That's why I love it so much.
Okay.
3 times in fairness to you, Brad.
Yeah. For us as a European, because the regular season, then the Supporters is the real winner.
Yeah,
but that is not.
We're not in England.
Watching NBA, and I love that the real winner. Supporters is a temporary winner, and credit to you for your season, the best season. You were much consistent, but in the end, if you're not in a good shape in the last months, you didn't leave anything more.
Fair enough.
Giorgio, one of the players you didn't mention there with the star-studded cast, I don't think you did at least, is Carlos Vela. And Vela's being honoured this weekend at LAFC after retiring from the game. Any Vela stories for us from your time playing with him when he was magical for LAFC?
One of the most generous number 10 and not selfish number 10 I've seen. he didn't require to be the star, because it was already that he was very open to leave a penalty kick or a free kick to someone that needs more. He could have scored some goals more, but he was very generous on the pitch. Technically, why, if you talk about his left foot, was unbelievable. That I could compare to the Dybala left foot. That really, he's a very nice guy. He helped me a lot, especially in the first weeks, months, to help him to settle my family. We live close. That I was very close to him. I'm very happy that after some trouble, he found the way to finish the career wearing the LAFC jersey, and tomorrow is gonna be honored by all the fans. And I'm sorry to cannot be there, but with my heart, I'll be with him and sending a message for sure. I did it for when he retired and everything. He deserved to be the face of the club, the first signing, the people that has really made the history for LAFC, because has chosen LAFC when LAFC didn't exist, and he was able to stay until lifting the Supporter Shield, MLS Cup, and also the last year the Open Cup, and he deserves to be celebrated.
Yeah, he sure does. What a player Carlos is and was. Giorgio, I have to ask you, there's a lot of big players that come to MLS. Some do well, some don't. Is there anything that surprised you about joining Major League Soccer, or some advice you would give to players? We might see some big ones in the future that you might have come across, and any advice you would give them?
I suggest this to anyone I've spoken in these couple of years to try MLS, to forget a bit sometimes about the money, but to enjoy MLS, because that's something that could remain in your life as an experience for many years, for your whole life after the career. I would have loved to arrive a bit early, because I played just a year and a half and arrive at 38. That I was really keen to join MLS, and really happy and lucky to be chosen by LAFC. But I would have loved to arrive a little bit early. I'm happy that the league is trying to modernize and be a little bit more flexible for salary cap and for this type of signing. That because if it's not, it's very hard to compete with Europe. And but it's gonna be better. I'm close to everyone. I saw also Don Garber during last year at the Champions League final, Club World Cup final. That many occasions during the last year I met him, and I'm very happy how he's leading this change. That is gonna be easy and probably require much more time. But you as American, you have all the tools to become one of the most important league in the world, and now finally it's much easier for the people in Europe to come there and play in MLS, and not too late in the career was some years ago.
So well said. I'm glad you said it. If you were Don Garber, or if you were able to make any decision and you had one day to go and do it, to change the league in one positive way for you, being a legend of the game and playing in the league, but also watching from afar now, what would it be and why?
Be bold. Try to attract investment. Try to be more flexible, and find a way to raise the revenues and raise the salary. That's the key, because I appreciate the way in which we are trying to maintain a balance and to be profitable or sustainable. But sometimes you need to be a bit bold. And now with the World Cup oncoming, that is something. It's a big chance for soccer in US. I don't know how can you start from the grassroots, and probably it's much more the US Soccer Federation that has to take care of this type of thing for children, because it's not easy to play soccer in US. It's not easy at all like it is in Europe. But as for an MLS, the direction is right. And you can see now we are talking much more about MLS. The transfer between MLS and Europe are much easier, and not just the players at 35, 38, but a lot of young players are signing from MLS at the beginning. Yeah, we have seen during the last 3 to 5 years the rate of this type of transfer, and I love it. I think can continue. It's a lot of work to do. I understand it's very heavy sometimes, but there is room for really enjoy and let the soccer get better in US.
Anything, Brad?
No, that's nice.
Let me, beautiful answer. Giorgio, I wanted to ask about defending for you. You're brought up as an Italian, you know, idolizing, I'm sure, Baresi, Maldini, Cannavaro, and you play alongside Barzagli, Bonucci, some of the greatest defenders of all time. You come to a league then that we've often said here, and we've been open about it, and I don't think it's a critical thing. Major League Soccer is just bonkers, beyond bonkers, the way the games can play out sometimes. Last week, we had 57 goals in one single match day. The attacking can sometimes surpass the defending in the league, meaning we get frantic open games. What was it like for you adjusting to the frantic nature of MLS games when you first got here?
I was very lucky to be able to manage a bit, and I was very lucky to find in Steve Cherundolo a coach that has been focused also on the defensive phases, and I try to help my teammates. It's about attention, consistency, and laziness. That's something that you could use more or avoid. Sometimes I think the position of the body is not right, but much more the laziness to drop earlier, to do not cheat. This type
on
of
360, Brad.
Yeah.
That's something that we expose a bit more than what we are habit in Italy more, but also in many other countries in Europe, that the laziness to drop, the laziness to cheat, and the midfield that sometimes here is much easier to consider goal. But I started to understand because of also the format. Honestly, regular season is something that's changed a lot, and I think you could see also in other sport, because if you look at the data and the numbers of winners of Supporter Shield and MLS Cup is almost 1 out of 6. And then it's not so important, right? First, second, third in the league. The important is arrive to the playoffs. It's better if arrive at top 4, but it's not so important in the end to arrive first. And that's why I think sometimes, especially on the road, you find some big defeat of teams that are much better than others. I played in Texas 6 times. The average weather was 100 degrees.
So tough. So tough.
And I was just the last 1 out of 6, 5 losses. That is not really happened often to me. And I won the last one because it was 1 game before the playoff, and then we needed 3 points in Austin, and they were almost out. That's also a situation. All the other times I lost also with really bad performances, really bad result. That is something that I wasn't happy to. I didn't have it myself too, but I had to manage, and I had to understand and try to do not be so angry, but try to let my teammates and myself also push more to be more concentrated on this type of game, because different weather, different condition, big time zone, many hours of flight is not an excuse to go there and in a school trip and lose 3-0. That's something that you should force a bit off. But if a lot of teams and a lot of players are still figuring out, that is meaning that it's not easy to fix.
I love that you said that, because it's a great observation. I think oftentimes people will look at maybe the defending or any part of the pitch and throw money at it. And what you're saying there is no, I think it's just habits and the will to, die for 3 points. And I think if that changes, we could see a little bit maybe better defending every now and again. But me personally, I don't really want it. When I played, I like the games to be frantic because it's more chances for a number 9. So keep it.
Giorgio, I don't know if you know this. I doubt you do. But myself, Sacha Kljestan, and Brad, we went on a bit of a boys' trip in the off-season last year. We went to Ireland, to my home. We went to Croke Park, had a private tour. We were kicking a ball on the pitch there. Yeah, we went to London. Thierry Henry got us tickets for the North London Derby, and Brad took us there, and we had a ball. Went to Brussels, where Sacha played, and he's a legend in Brussels with Anderlecht. This year, we're looking ahead, and Dax, I think, is going to speak with Bastian Schweinsteiger about maybe going skiing with him. We might go to Italy. So do you want to join us at some point? We might want to link up with Giorgio Chiellini if we can.
I cannot refuse it.
Amazing.
One.
What would we do if we went to Italy for a day or two with you? What would the plan be?
Okay, best plan is having a good dinner, good Italian wine, let you look at some good all over the city, and this depends of the situation. If it's really summer and I'm in Livorno that is close to the sea, you could go on the boat and enjoy a bit the sea in Italy.
Oh.
If it's in Turin, it's a bit different, so you could enjoy the Langa on the hills vineyards, something that is not as bad too.
Oh my
Bradley,
Kev,
what
I'm
do you
sold. I'm sold. Book the ticket.
Done.
Quick one, Giorgio, on a legend that you know and is near and dear to your heart, I'm sure. Gattuso, coach of the national team. I'm looking up at a book here. I have up top here. It's Pirlo's book that I loved reading, and the amount of stories that I found myself laughing out loud in his book about Gattuso, the player, and the fun that maybe you guys used to have winding him up. I remember a fire extinguisher story that I read in Pirlo's book.
I was there, and I was sleeping at that time, and I woke up because of the noise and the loud of Rino yelling to Andrea and others players coming back at 2-3 a.m. With the things with the fires and waking up him. It was a crazy stuff. You know what's the problem? That it was during a national team, and after 3 days we played another game and we won easily, because at that time it seems for us to be really easy reach the European or World Cup, and now it's changed a lot. We are not anymore for this. But at the time we had a really funny story about this type of night, and Rino was always Andrea. Make jokes and makes fun of Rino a lot of time.
Is he that crazy? Sorry, go on, Kev.
No. Is he? Is
Gattuso that crazy? Because from the outside, he just looks wild. Looks hard to contain. Great, funny videos come out of him. Is he crazy?
No, Gattuso is not crazy. Gattuso was sleeping, and someone has started to knock the door, and the others, all the players that went out for the night, for a dinner night, after the game, that they start with fire in face of him, and he got mad because it was 2-3 a.m. and also it is dangerous in the face. They didn't care at the time, that it was a weird situation. But the day after, he got the revenge. Don't worry. And with his
it's just amazing. I love this. I hope he does well. The big tournaments are not the same if Italy are not there. Ireland right now, we're looking like we're not making it. But Italy, I sincerely hope you guys make it with Gattuso leading the charge.
I want to come to US watching Italy, and not just the other teams.
Please.
That they could join it.
Of course. Hey, a few quick hitters that I have for you here before we love you and let you go, Giorgio. Best centre-back of all time for you? Who is it?
Probably Maldini. It's one of the more complete. Of the last 30, 40 years I've seen, Maldini, he was the best. As a marker, I was very lucky to play with Cannavaro. He was unbelievable. As a marker, Maldini is the more complete. Cannavaro as a marker. And if I think about my generation, that is not a pure marker, a pure defender, but I think that Sergio Ramos was the most complete player and defender, because his personality it was too good with the ball. Without the ball, it was physical, it was technical, it was a leader that with or without him, the players around him has played very different, that I would have loved to play against him, not against him, with him. I played against him. I would have loved to play close to him. I would have loved to watch him in MLS. Maybe it's not too late.
No, you never know. You never know. If you could relive one moment from your legendary career, what would it be and why?
The Euros, the final of the Euro, the excitement after the final. Because also I had broken my ACL a year and a half before. If would have played in 2020, I would have not played this tournament. And I started to play with consistency in January 21. That I for a year and a half I didn't play 2 games in a row, and because of injury, because of time for the ACL, and then I started to play with consistency, and just be there. The first game I still remember much more the anthem. The first game against Turkey, we played the opening game of the Euros, and then arriving to the end with this tournament, coming back from an injury that I missed 2 games and play. I didn't want to play the quarterfinal because the day before I wasn't able to sprint, and we played against Lukaku, and the coach said, "Don't worry, we'll see tomorrow. We'll see." And he came to me a year and a half before the game. "Do you want to play?" What can I do?
You can't say no.
Yeah, let's die on the pitch if I have to. And it finished very well. It was the peak of my career, and I won a lot of titles domestically, but I have never won them. I lost 2 Champions League final. I lost another 3 Champions League final. CONCACAF and to UEFA. I lost €1 in 2012, and finally I was able to win a European championship in 2021.
Do you know what I love, Brad? I love the fact that Giorgio's gone with something later in his career, Giorgio, because I think Brad and I, we're like 2 old men sometimes. We sit having a coffee or having a beer, and we're talking about life and kids and just perspective, how perspective changes in our brain as we get older. You probably were able to appreciate the moment a lot more, given that you're a little bit older with children and a life beyond football. Is that fair?
Yes. After the arrival of my daughter, I was 31. And I start to play much better. I start to enjoy and not I didn't need to find an enemy. I didn't need to waste energy on what's going wrong during the week or during the game. I was just happy, and my performances start to raise. And after being captain of Italy, captain of national team of Juventus, I had my best season on consistency and performances from 33 to 35. And I enjoy just that is. I enjoy the game. I prepare as the best, like I did after until the end, until my last training, in which I got I've broken my meniscus. My last training in Columbus, I've broken my knees, but I really enjoy it till the end.
What's one thing in your career now, as we look ahead? You're only 41 years of age. You're a young buck still. What's one thing in your career you want to achieve going forward?
I want to, enjoy and do something in this world in a new position. And I think that the world to be recognized, not just a football player, but shift and to be recognized as a good manager and good human being. I think that I did an amazing career, much more than what I dreamed when I was a kid. Now I would like to at least remove a bit and start to write my new story in soccer, but with a new position, and start to be recognized that, okay, but he has played soccer, but now it's okay, but he's a good manager. He's doing very well. He has a good opportunity. He has a good mind. He's clever. He's curious. He wants to be many things that I know. I have no rush at all. But I want to also write my new story, and not just because of who I was, but because of who I am now.
Hence already several degrees and stuff.
Yeah, several degrees. But you already have the good human being part. You already got that down. Just a quick story before you go. I know you probably got to go. Kev, we went to the All-Stars. I don't know if you remember, Giorgio, 2018 in Atlanta. And Juve walked in. We had a marketing thing. Juve walked in. And he's the only player. Giorgio walks around to every MLS All-Star, shaking our hands. All the staff of all our staff, physios, players, young players, whatever, had 2 minutes talks with them. And I'm just like, what is going on here? You know, I'm almost starstruck. I never get starstruck, but just wanted to put that out there so people know who they are listening to and who they're dealing with when they meet Giorgio. He's an unbelievable person.
Love that.
Right. Yeah, I remember very well because I was there. We came in both teams for like a media 1 hour. We were there, and I was very also curious to meet them and understand what's going on. Americans, South Americans, Europeans, that is something. How soccer there? How is the things are going? It's getting better. It's getting worse. What are you thinking? And all these type of things. I was always fascinated by US. I had always had in my mind to play in US, and I can tell you now, I'm going back. I don't know when, during my life, but I'm going back for sure to US for do something in my future, because I left part of my heart in LA, and not just in LAFC, but also the city welcomed me very well. I left a lot of friendship, and I'm trying to. I went during the summer with my family to have summer classes, and I think that I don't want to leave my legacy, and sooner or later, I don't know when, because life is unpredictable, but I go back.
Well said. You both have played for LAFC. Who's the biggest celebrity you would have met walking down the street in Los Angeles? Giorgio, you go first.
Can I tell you this story? I arrived June 29, and I arrived, go straight to the stadium, and the day after I went to start to visit some houses in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and I sit down for a coffee. On the other part of the city, arrived Sylvester Stallone, Al Pacino, and
What's going on?
No way.
The first afternoon that I don't know if the most important, but the first afternoon I said, I'm living like a Prince of Bel-Air, the sitcom.
Yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That was the feeling that I had the first month.
Kev, my stories don't match up to that. I went there during COVID. The biggest stars I met was Bob Bradley and Carlos Vela. And I'm grateful because they're unbelievable people. So, yeah.
And hey, last one we got for you, Giorgio. Better FIFA cover with Giorgio Chiellini on it or Sacha Kljestan?
Yeah, Giorgio Chiellini. It was imagine, as a kid, I played FIFA and everything. When they asked me to be the cover of the Italian, I did it for 2 years. One of the, as a kid and as also a PlayStation player, gamer, it was like it's like a children at Disneyland. It was the same.
Oh man, what an infectious personality, Bradley. Seriously,
unbelievable.
One of the greatest of all time, Giorgio Chiellini. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you, man. Yeah, he gets a clap, Kev. He gets a clap for sure.
Absolutely.
Big up to all the soccer fans in US. I'm watching you every weekend, sometimes live, most of the time after on Apple TV, and really a pleasure, and can't wait to see you in person.
We'll see you in person in January. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, facts.
Cheers, Giorgio. Thank you so much.
Look after yourself, mate.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Really, that my words were really true, and I really thank you for everything, and can't wait to see you in person, and love to watch you every time I do it on Apple TV. Yeah.
Oh man, oh man, my heart. I'm in love with that man now. He's absolutely sensational. Sacha, your first time watching the chat that Brad and I had with Giorgio, what'd you think?
Amazing. Like I said, this guy is a legend. I booked my trip to Torino for January. We're going to Juve. We're going to watch a game. I want some of that pasta and that wine that he's talking about. He is a liar, though. I looked way better on the cover of FIFA than he did. But it's true. I mean, even a guy like him, right? A legend in the game. And I was on the cover of FIFA too. I was the exact same as him. As a kid, you just play this video game. You never dream in your wildest imagination that one day they'll ask you to be put on the cover of the game. So even a guy like him who won everything, we're all still kids at heart. What a guy.
What stood out to you, Brad?
He's just so humble. I've been called humble, and I nowhere near Chiellini. Even the questions, you know what it's like interviewing players, former players, anyone. After a while, they want to leave. He's adding more to the conversation. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to inform you. He just takes time out of his day to just be himself. He's a great human being, man.
I love how motivated he is, Kev. Yeah. I love how motivated he is for the next part of his career. Mm-hmm. And we're all only a couple years out of playing. And I've had friends who have said to me, one day some young people, they won't know you as a soccer player if you continue to do well in the TV space and in the media world of soccer. People will know you as the TV guy, the guy who talks about soccer. They won't remember your playing days. And that's hard for me, right? Because this was like my whole life for such a long time. But I think he's got such a great perspective on it that he's ready to make a name for himself in his next part of his life. Yeah. That's an awesome mentality.
One of my favorite comments coming through here on the live chat from Cole Bassett's left foot. Great name, by the way.
I saw that.
Saying, hit the like and subscribe button like Chiellini shutting down Harry Kane at Euro 2020. Calm, clinical, and absolutely inevitable. Fair play.
Don't remind me of those. Don't remind me of that.
I think that Chiellini's mindset really stood out to me. One of the comments that I wrote down here, he said, I didn't need to find an enemy anymore when talking about having a family and finding happiness in life, like pure happiness. That he didn't need to find an enemy anymore. What do you read into that, Sash?
Well, I think it's just a way of saying it, right? So it's similar for me that when I had kids, and if I had a bad game and I walked off the pitch and then I saw my kids there, they were just excited to see me. They didn't care that we lost 3-0. And I could give them a hug and I could pick them up and hold them and think, man, life is good. And remind myself that we're just playing a game that, the game has given us so much, but in the end, we're paid to play a sport. Like, what a life we lived, And so I think that perspective of him, he had happiness. He didn't need to go, oh, I hate this guy today. I've got to kill him on the pitch. Like, his mentality was good, and you obviously see that.
Yeah, like you at Mixed Disc Route.
This is it now. We keep that one going, Kev.
Hey, speaking of New York City here, before we go, guys, massive match tomorrow night. We mentioned New York City, 6 wins in their last 7. They welcome in Messi and Miami. New York City are very much in the Shield conversation now, Bradley. This is a big one.
Yeah, we spoke on the show on the weekend. They're a team right now. I don't think you want to see them. Inter Miami have to win. If they're, going to win the Shield and win all these games in hand that we've been talking about for months, they have to go to New York City. It's not going to be easy to play against that team. New York City going to cause them a lot of problems. We know what that backline for Inter Miami are like. And when you're looking at Alonso Martinez running in behind there, when I think about this game, Inter Miami are going to need more than 2 goals.
Hey, Kev, the game's going to be fun, but do you know what my favorite memory from New York City against Inter Miami at Yankee Stadium is?
Hey.
Messi gave you a fist bump, dude. You never walked your right hand ever since, dude.
A wink and a fist bump. Yeah,
you made it, man. You made it.
Hey, the fans booed me. We met David Beckham. You got a fist bump and a wink from Messi. What a day!
Yeah, we chatted gardening with David Beckham. Great stuff. Hey, listen, guys. Love you, but we got to go here. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on MLS's YouTube page, guys, and obviously join us for all the action on MLS Season Pass this weekend. We've got Countdown 360, wrap up. It's all coming your way. But before then, tomorrow night, doubleheader here in Major League Soccer, midweek doubleheader. So join us for the action there. For Brad, for Sash, myself, Kev, Phelan, our producer, and all our top-class team, Emily, and everybody else, thanks a mil. And we'll speak soon. Thanks a mil for joining us for This Is MLS. Take care.
See you later, lads. Bye.